Yes, Honorable Minister, I'd like you to talk to the issue of agriculture. You spoke about dry farming and all of that. The minister spoke about over 100,000 hectares that are now under cultivation. Can you give us a sense of what it is and what the roadmap is between the hectares and the cultivation and also on, and then the issue of food security going forward?
Well, let me start with the issue of food security. You know that the ministry was called Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development at various times, even sometimes Ministry of Agriculture and Water Resources and all that. But the president came and said he has rechristened him. He has renamed it Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. What that means is that he's putting a lot of emphasis on food security, because for us to have the desired fiscal security that we all need, we also have to have food security. Now, what has the president done? The president has, come with a very robust plan of, in the first instance, bringing about 120,000 hectares of land under cultivation, and we're already seeing that happening. He didn't stop there. He, sought the help of financing from the African Development Bank, and they made that also possible by putting a lot of money, over $138 million investment in that regard. If you go to Jigawa, the example I gave you earlier, almost everywhere there has turned green. The farmers are very happy. They are not just cultivating rice, they are cultivating wheat, they are cultivating hibiscus, and packaging this and exporting it out of this country already. I gave the example of Kebbi State. I've seen also what is happening in Niger. For example, the state governor there is investing heavily also in the agricultural sector. So also governors of Benue, Taraba, and other parts of the country. Now, agricultural food security or food security generally is something that all of us need to have. If you don't have, you can't feed yourself, then it becomes very difficult for you to manage yourself. So the president has seen that, and he has said the Minister of Agriculture gave him a marching order, ensure that the rice that all of us eat here, we grow here. We grow what we eat what we grow. That has been the slogan. And the president, despite all the pressures, especially in the last couple of months, for him to open up the borders and import rice, he has resisted that. He believes that Nigeria can still produce what it eats. He believes that with the right kind of policy and right kind of supervision, the Ministry of Agriculture and indeed all those practicing agriculture will have whatever they require to feed this country. Now, if you go to Jigawa, and I keep going back there because I have been there, I went there with the National Communications team, and we've seen what has happened, what is happening there. They are growing crops, or they are growing food 3 times a year there. In the past, we were relying on rain-fed agriculture, but because of the massive investment, of course, it didn't just start today, but the kind of focus that the president is putting there is unprecedented. Never a time in our history have we seen that kind of focus on agriculture. And like the Minister of Agriculture is always talking about, the agricultural value chain investment that the government is putting attention on will certainly help this country to not just feed itself, but also feed other parts of the world. I think we are on a right journey in that direction. And I think that with the kind of support that the federal government is giving, I recall recently that for wet season farming, the Central Bank of Nigeria gave Nigerian farmers through the Ministry of Agriculture 2.15 million bags of assorted fertilizer. And now the biggest input you need in agriculture is fertilization. And that is already being provided, And I need to add this before we stop that. The new focus is that support is going to the real farmers. And I listened to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security only last night. Support is going to the real farmers, not farmers in Abuja, not farmers who have farms in their bags or in their files. Whatever input, whatever support you are giving to the farmers, the farmers who have farms are actually being targeted. In other words, there is a match between support and the actual practice of farming on ground. I think that is significant. It's a significant shift from what we have been having in the past, where farmers, I stay in Abuja here and claiming that they have all kinds of acreages of farms in their pockets and in their farms without the actual farms being in existence. There's a market shift in that direction.
Unfortunately,